This episode of Becoming the Best Version is sponsored by the Law Office of Jazz Jordan, the injury firm that fights for you. If you've been hurt in a car accident, on the job, or due to someone else's negligence, you shouldn't have to face insurance companies alone. Jazz Jordan is committed to getting you the compensation you deserve while you focus on healing and becoming the best version of yourself. So if you or someone you know has been injured, reach out to the Law Office of Jazz Jordan. They don't get paid unless you win, because your recovery, your rights, and your future matter.
Hello, welcome to Becoming the Best Version, a path to a better person. I am Annietta Davis, and I have the blessed opportunity to interview today Mr. Jeremy Ackles. This is a very, very special interview for me. I will keep that for later. But Mr. Ackles, please tell us who you are. Introduce yourself to my audience and tell us who you are.
Okay, I'm so happy to be here. I'm Jeremy Ackles, and this is my mother.
I was gonna tell y'all just did.
This is my beautiful mother, and I'm a God-fearing man of God, and
That is.
I'm just trying to get better every day.
That's important. That's important to always grow. Now he don't want to give y'all his little accolades, but you know I'm the mom. I got to give it to you. My son is a graduate. He has a bachelor's and a master's. He's what kind of? Tell us about your job.
Yeah, so I have education. I have a bachelor's from Troy University. You know, I graduated from Troy in 2013, and I have my master's in public administration. I graduated in 2016 with my master's from Columbus State University. I've just been blessed with opportunities, and I've strived and worked hard. I started my career doing basically economic development and community development with the Chamber of Commerce. That was a very rewarding experience within itself. God has blessed me with just people in my life, good and bad, to teach me lessons and to help push me to the next level. So definitely appreciate all the mentorship, all the great men and women who have poured into me, and I've taken heed of everything that they've said, and some things I haven't, but
eat the meat and throw away the bone.
That's right.
Yes,
but so economic development and at the chamber, and started working for the city shortly after that. Was blessed with an opportunity to work in the public transportation department, so that was a good introduction into the public government sector.
It was.
And so now I work in the venue management, entertainment, hospitality industry, and it's just something that I needed to find that thing, what is going to be the thing that I have longevity in, and I can grow within, and
and I know that whatever you put your hands to will manifest and grow and blossom greatly, because I believe that, not just because I'm your mother, because you're an awesome man of God. My son is married, and he has 3 beautiful children, a wonderful, beautiful wife, and God has been doing some amazing things in your life, and I am so excited about how God is moving now. But let's look back over your life. We're going to go back and pick up 3 main things to help you become who the person you are today. Because when we see you, you got kingship all over you. I'm definitely biased because that is my son. But you got kingship all over you. But how do you graduate to the point of kingship? Because you have to come from something to get to where you are now. So if we look at your life, we go back and pull out 3 main things to help you become the king that you are now. What is the earliest memory you can get, and what would your first point of contingency be?
Okay, well, we were blessed, we had everything that we needed, and I appreciate you for everything that you've sacrificed, to raise us, but I'm able to you know, have my own family, and their childhood is a lot different than mine. I'll say
Okay.
that.
So what would be your first point, a place where you can say, I had to grow from this? What would that point be?
Well, I mean, you know, we lived in the projects.
Yes,
Okay?
we did. Yes, we did. I mean, this is the point of this interview is to show people that we grew. You know what I'm saying? That God took us from one point to the next point. I don't want you to feel any kind of way about seeing what you got to say, because no matter what we have been through, the point is going through. We didn't stay stuck.
That's
you know what I'm saying? So God, your first point would be living in the projects.
Living in the projects.
Okay,
that's right. Living in the projects. I had, you know, I was outside in them projects doing what project people do.
I know, right?
And you know, I've seen some things and grew up with some people who, you know, had even worse situations than what we did. But you know, that definitely, you know, showed me a lot of things. I grew up, you know, very mentally just, you know, tough and just ready for whatever, and just, you know, there have been times where, you know, I didn't have the new shoes, the new clothes, but I was able to get, you know, what I had and make it look good and be proud of who I am, you know, and things like that.
You have to go through those times and changes. And I think it's important because it gets to show you what you want and what you don't want. You know what I'm saying? I want this and I don't want that. I got to do better here and I want to do better there. I know everything helps us grow into being a better person. It should help us grow to being a better person. And if it don't, we don't need to do it.
That's right.
So what would be another point? Living in the projects is the first point.
I know what it feels like to not have hot water in the winter.
Amen.
You know, I know what it feels like to be without, you know, power or just different things like that. I know what it's like to, you know, I've had those experiences, and you know, it just helped me, number one, because the only way that I, you know, knew to have the things that I wanted was to work hard and go, you know, go get it. And I was blessed with opportunities because, you know, you've connected me with people who helped me get jobs or do different things around the neighborhood to get those things, you know, and the Miss Maureen's who would let us clean up her yard to, you know, get some money and stuff like that. You know, it just gave me hope and a sign of, okay, you know, this must be what it takes to get, you know, but it's easier, you know. I've you know, ran with people who stole and who, you know, did the negative things to get money, you know, money and the things that they wanted to, you know. And so, you know, I just, at that point, I figured, hey, it's a route that I can take, you know. If one leads to this, you know, I've seen people go down for different things.
You're right about that.
I know, I just never wanted that to be me. I didn't want that to be my end, because I just understand, like, even then, you know, decisions just, they have consequences, repercussions, and you know, and I just learned early, like, hey, you know, shoot, I mean, I remember one of my earliest memories, okay, was I used to go door to door selling incense. Do you remember that?
Your uncle and them incense. My brother would buy those incense and give them to y'all. I mean, but I think one of the biggest things that we tried to do was to teach you, and to teach not just you, but all your cousins and brothers the same, is that you can take what you have and make what you need. You know what I'm saying? You can start here and go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to steal. You don't have to kill. You don't have to. You can take where you're the meager place that you are and take what you have and manifest it and grow it. And that was one of the biggest lessons I know that we as parents, I think that because I have sons, I don't have daughters, I have all boys. And one of the things I wanted to present to my sons was that what's in your hands, you can use what's in your hands to multiply and to grow. And I think that as a mother, I didn't want to give them everything. I wanted to give them the gift of struggle, so that they could never be held in a place that they could be anywhere and anytime and grow from that point. And I think sometimes we do our sons an injustice by giving them too much. They have to learn how to take their situation and grow from that situation to be better people. And now you have a son.
I sure do. So I mean, you know, if there's ever an opportunity where he can go and make his own, you know, we definitely, and we do that. I mean, you know, I have some friends and we talk about that a lot, you know, business now, you know, understanding that we have businesses and things that we can, you know, our families and children can get involved in, and there's lessons to be learned throughout that. You know, so my experience, you know, selling those incense, going door to door, meeting strangers, and asking people to buy things, you know, has really helped me even today, because now I can go into different places, meet new people, and grow my business doing that. So I don't have, you know, I'm not shy in that regard.
You definitely have an entrepreneurial state of mind. You know, you're always trying to find a way to build and work it around and make it do what you need to do. And that's a good thing. And I mean, you have 2 girls and a boy, so I can only imagine that your son picks up a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? On how he's going to move in this world. What would your next point of contingency be? You're starting off with living in the projects and growing. So what would your next thing? What would your next point be?
My next stage or point. Just being on my own, you know, having to go off the porch, and because I just knew I didn't want to go back I did not. That was the last place I wanted to be. You know, was back at home with my mama. I did not want to go there. I was just trying to get out. That was my thing. I wanted to get away. I wanted to get out. I wanted to, you know, just experience something, because I was experiencing other things even just before I graduated high school. You know, I was playing tennis and doing different things you know, get it, just to see what else is, you know, beyond where I'm at. You know, I've always wanted to go beyond. So, I mean, you know, once I was exposed to different things, you know, nicer things, different things outside of just what's in the hood, you know, I was able to, you know, chase those things. And so that's what made me kind of step off the porch. And, you know, it wasn't, I mean, at that time, I don't know, I was just trying to figure it out. So I didn't know whether it was to go to the military or go to college or go, you know, I didn't really, at that point, I didn't really have, you know, the mentors that I have now. So I just figured, hey, let me go to college is better than where I'm at now. And as far as it being paid for, you know, I heard about the Pell Grant and all that other stuff. So I just seen it as a way out, you know, and I just stepped out on what I thought, you know, was the right thing to do, but it was really faith. I didn't have no idea what was going to happen, and you supported me in that. So I appreciate it.
Amen.
So, you know, going to
what
school and
like,
being on my own.
Stepping in that world, you building a world. You know, we saw that picture on TV. It's a different world. These kids go off to college and they figuring out what that is. What was your different world like stepping off into college?
Oh yeah, it was a lot. It kind of felt like, you know, school all over again, high school, but it just got real when, you know, there was nobody waking you up to go here or there, or you know,
That's
it
true.
was either you pass or you go home, you know, and so you fail. And so yeah, it was I met new friends, new people that I still talk to, you know, to this day. And, you know, just had to really get myself organized and just go with the flow and be ready, you know, and that's exactly what I did. So I just came in and I just gave it my best. And it was some late nights and I still had to get up in the early morning. And, you know, I met some really good people in that journey. But one of the scariest points was when my grades were starting to go down. You know, my grades weren't above a certain threshold for me to continue to get financial aid. And so, you know, yeah, they told me that I was some type of academic contingency for my admission, and I didn't meet the requirement. And so I had to go they weren't going to let me continue, or they weren't going to fund my education anymore, so I couldn't come back. You know, and in that time, I just felt devastated. I didn't know what to do.
I never knew about it.
Yeah, I mean, you was living in Phoenix City in that
Richmond Park.
Yeah, Richmond Park. Yeah, and I thought that was it. I mean, I felt like I was crying. I was like, man, I can't believe I can't go back. I'm back here where I started. I was trying to get away from this, and here I am. I'm back. You know, and then shoot, I just persevered. You know, I kept thinking of what I could do, who I could talk to. I reached out to some people, and I reached out to my RA, you know, who was, you know, he was a junior or a senior at the time. And so he advised me to, you know, I sent a letter already, you know, trying to, you know, get back in and tell them, hey, I had this issue going on, but I hadn't got a response yet. Time was ticking down. And so I talked to my RA, and shoot, he's like, hey, you know, you might just need to come up here. And so I drove from Phoenix City to Troy, and I just went up to the admin office, and I probably should win an Oscar or something for the performance that I put into getting in that financial aid office. I waited in line, and I told them, you know, the situation was real. Now, it's, you know, I used the fact that, you know, my mother had recently gotten a divorce, and I had to come back home and take care of the family, and that's helped out while my grades were slipping, you know, and so they allowed me to continue going to school after that. And so that was a real wake-up call for me.
Yeah, I imagine it was a wake-up call.
And so, I mean, at that point, you know, I was blessed with people like my RA who advised me, you know, hey, now that you're back, it's like, shoot, the best thing for you to do is just to get involved and to stay focused, you know. And I had, you know, good friends, people who helped me study, and people who, you know, were really into it, you know, and that was what really motivated me, you know, to pledge in my fraternity. You know, I mean, it was some guys who were friends of mine who were in the fraternity. I wasn't at the time, and they gave me some good habits, you know what I'm saying, to continue on and to, you know, perform at a high level, you know. And so that's when I just, you know, at that point I knew, hey, I gotta be able to perform at a high level. I can't be ordinary. I can't be like everybody else. You know, I got to do things differently.
Yeah. That can be really shocking, system shocking. Yeah, yeah. I'd imagine. I remember when you came and told me that you wanted to pledge Kappa. I was like, why you want to do that? Because you my baby. You my baby. And I used to be in college, and I remember what them Kappas used to be like when I was in college. And I was like, my baby ain't like them. But you said you wanted to be a Kappa. And I was like, all right, Jeremy, well, I don't understand why you want to do this, but okay, if that's what you want to do. But I know you were dedicated to it. You were willing to do whatever to make it happen. And that showed up. I understand, you know, and at that point in time, I remember in my life, I had to make decisions. No, decisions were made for me that I wished I could have made those decisions for myself. And I definitely didn't want to expose on you what had happened to me. I wanted to, whatever decisions you make, whatever decisions you or your brothers made, I needed it to be your own decision. And if you believed in yourself and this is what you wanted to do, I didn't want to do anything to stop you from achieving what you wanted, whether I understood it or not. You know what I'm saying? I needed for you to be your own man and you to write that script, not me. And I know that there were times in my life when I wanted to make decisions and choices, and they were made for me. And I didn't want to do that to you all. So that's like
takes very powerful, you know, because I know your feelings were in the way of that. You know, you wanted to protect and do all the things.
Yeah, you have to understand it. And then I know I have sons. So in having sons, you all, my heart's desire was that you would be the head of your homes. You would be the fathers and the husbands and the voice that God would use to speak into generations. Because I had that in my heart, I knew I needed to step out of the way and let you as a man find those things. Because that's one of the reasons why I was very careful to teach you how to fish. not to just give you fish. That was one of the reasons why I tried to listen to what you wanted to do and find ways to aid you to do what you wanted to do. Do you remember when you told me you wanted to be in the radio business? And then what we got you on working with a radio station because I needed to fund and support whatever it is that you wanted to do because I desired for all of my sons to be their own men. I knew that I had done all that I could do to give you all the God I could give you, all the leadership I could give you, but I needed for you to be able to decide what direction you wanted to go in. And I just wanted to be a cheerleader. Just be a cheerleader over here. Hey, he got it. And you have really done such a great job when I look at you. But let's get focused. What's the third point? The first point is living in the ghetto. The second point is off at college. What's the third point?
Yeah, the second point is just, again, just stepping off the porch, being independent. And, the third step, I guess, is where I am now. And that's, just really combining both of those things together, to have a family and then to be able to support, our lifestyle and the things that, I can do to impact the next generation, and it's really helping people too. I like to help people.
It's Crystal with CW Tax Solutions, where we make taxes simple, stress-free, and smart. Whether you're a business owner or just trying to get your finances in order, we help you keep more of what you earn and plan ahead for next year. We service all 50 states, so don't wait for tax season. Prepare now and stay ready. Call CW Tax Solutions at 706-888-3891 or visit us in Sylacauga, Alabama. CW Tax Solutions, where clarity meets confidence.
And if one of my what I take pride in is helping people, if I can do that, give somebody a job opportunity, or help somebody learn something new, a new skill, or even just connect somebody with somebody who can help them, that's really what I focus on every day. So, now I'm the director at the Greenville Convention Center. And so, it's a very rewarding thing when I can, when people look up to me or answer to me, and this is an opportunity for them to grow, and so I always challenge people, and a lot of times people don't like that or, may think that it's unnecessary, but, it's because of all the people who poured into me and the things that I've had to do to get to where I am, I'm able to help others now,
That's great.
And so people who are in less fortunate situations, on my team, I have several different divisions, and people come from different walks of life. So I'm able to help them, either whether it's get a car or apartment. I don't want to take direct responsibility for that because they worked for that, but, just making sure that they have that opportunity to get those things and to be able to help themselves is big. I mean, and even like young professionals, I advocate for people who are young in their profession as well, because, it took somebody to give me an opportunity, so that I can grow and do the thing. So now I'm in a position where I can give other people opportunities.
Isn't that something? How God just turned around and now the student has become the master.
That's a blessing.
And you got other students coming behind you, and then will be one day become the master. But right now, that's an awesome thing. One of my gifts, one of my heart desires is to help too. I like sowing seed into people and helping people grow and be better people. And it's a lot of responsibility in it. If you could speak a word of encouragement to the young you living in the ghetto, what would you say to you?
The young me living in the projects, shoot. I don't know. I guess I don't know if I would I would just say just stay, stay I would say I need to meditate on that. I don't know. I need to think about that. I would say something profound, something that is very encouraging, just hey, this is not the end all be all,
right.
And not that I even thought that way, but I mean, it would be encouraging to hear that, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't really hear that enough, you know.
Right.
Because a lot of people's mindsets were like, hey, this is the life that
Yeah.
I gotta live.
Right,
I won't be any more than this, or
right.
you know, the white man that, and I can't do this because of that, or here's my excuse, and you know, things like that. So I mean, you know, I would share that with my younger self. Also too, just you know, don't be afraid. You know, be more you know, courageous. And
that word courageous is such an important and potent word, because courageous simply means it's not that you're not afraid. It's that even though I am afraid, I'm going to do it anyway.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I may not like it, I may feel some kind of way about it, but I'm going to do it anyway. And when you got off to college, I feel like you began to see some perseverance. You began to see some developmental core factors that helped you become the man that you are now. If you were talking to a young person that was gradually moving through life, what are some words of encouragement that you would give that person to help them become better or whole, or just more sound and bound?
Create healthy habits.
Create healthy habits.
That's it. That's where I am now, you know. And just learning how to be a better me today is just through creating better habits, you know. Exercise every day, you know. Read, you know. Read the Bible, read the Word, study it, and make that a part of my day, a habit, you know, that I have. So I've created these different habits, or you know, things that have just become second nature, you know. I mean, like I said, you know, now I'm getting to the habit of just trying to be more active. You know, trying to eat better, you know, just doing those different things, reading and another thing is what you intake, you know, whether it's food or what you listen to, music, you know, social media, you know, you have to. It's the same thing with food. It feels like just having healthier habits, even with those things.
Right. Because there's spiritual food, there's mental food, there's physical food, there's all different types of food. So even with social media, it is an appetite. Right. You know, so you have to be careful what you intake in that appetite. Yeah.
If you're constantly intaking negative, traumatic things that you see on the internet,
that's very true.
I feel like it's gonna take part in your life. You're agreeing and kind of taking part in those things. But yeah, I mean, just healthier habits, you know, whatever that means for you. I think that's anybody could take away from just changing their habits and just being cautious about, you know, about
I think that God is an amazing God. And I think that I think I may have said this on every episode. God is an amazing God. He's a strategic battle master. And there are things that he sets us up in ways that help us become better. But it is up to us to do the work. No one's going to do the work for you. You got to get in there and do the work. Whatever that work is, you got to get in there and do it. And you got to do it with faith, because without faith, it's impossible to please God. One of the words you used was courageous. You was doing it and having courage. And it's so important to understand that though you are courageous, it doesn't mean that you're not afraid. It doesn't mean that you don't have fear. It means that in spite of my fear, I'm going to do it anyway. So I want to thank you for joining us here, Becoming the Best Version, Mr. Ackles. Is there any words that you would like to depart on?
Just build better habits.
Build better habits. All right, now this is Becoming the Best Version, a path to a better person. I'm Annietta Davis, and I've had the awesome opportunity today to interview Mr. Jeremy Ackles.
All right.
My oldest son. God is so amazing. Thank you. Join us again for the next episode of Becoming the Best Version.
This episode of Becoming the Best Version is sponsored by the Law Office of Jazz Jordan, the injury firm that fights for you. If you've been hurt in a car accident, on the job, or due to someone else's negligence, you shouldn't have to face insurance companies alone. Jazz Jordan is committed to getting you the compensation you deserve while you focus on healing and becoming the best version of yourself. So if you or someone you know has been injured, reach out to the Law Office of Jazz Jordan. They don't get paid unless you win, because your recovery, your rights, and your future matter.